Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be smoking and reviewing the Peace Original Filtered Cigarettes, which came out in 1965, if I remember correctly. However, Peace as a brand has been around since 1946, right after the end of World War II. And these cigarettes were meant to symbolize a new, more peaceful era. That's what they were meant to be. And, well, that's why the name of these cigarettes is Peace, which I think is pretty cool. And that's also why there's a dove on this box right here, because doves are a symbol of peace because of Noah's Ark and everything like that kind of thing. I think it's pretty neat. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's pretty neat. I think they definitely put a lot of thought into this packaging, and it makes sense because the packaging of these cigarettes right here was designed by the same guy who designed the Lucky Strike packaging for the original Lucky Strikes. No joke. No joke. Apparently, it was actually kind of controversial. According to Wikipedia, at least, apparently him designing this pack of cigarettes was kind of controversial because apparently graphic design did not pay very well in 1946, and they paid him a good amount of money, but then it got a little bit controversial because they paid him that good amount of money. But then after like a couple years, the cigarettes started selling super well. So really nobody could say anything about it because they were like, wow, they're selling really well. It's probably partly due to the packaging, right? So nobody could really diss it anymore kind of thing. But I just think it's so hilarious that them paying a graphic designer a good amount of money for their work was actually considered controversial at the time. It certainly is very, very, very funny. That is for sure. Now, I do want to acknowledge that I have already smoked one of the cigarettes out of this pack right here. This was the first Japanese cigarette that I ever smoked, and I have not smoked another one, if I remember correctly. I don't think I've smoked another one. Maybe I smoked one more, but I think that was it in all honesty. And they, right off the bat, y'all, right off the bat, fantastic. One of the best cigarettes I've ever had. My expectations for the Peace Original Filter are very simple, and I already know what to expect because I've tried them before. Taste-wise, I am very much expecting a very nice, more mild, yet also less mild than not sweet tobacco taste with sort of a chocolatey undertone to it. That's what I'm expecting taste-wise from these cigarettes right here. I definitely have to say body-wise, I'm expecting a pretty good body. I'm expecting a pretty massive body, if I do say so myself. I definitely have to say airflow and draw-wise, I'm expecting the airflow to be wide open, and I'm expecting the draw to have some significance to it. And I definitely have to say, roughness and smoothness wise, I'm definitely expecting these to be smoother than not, but they're definitely not the smoothest cigarettes in the world, if I remember correctly. But those are pretty much my expectations for, well, the Peace Original Filter cigarettes from 1965, if I remember correctly. I looked at the Wikipedia page. I might be saying the year wrong. It is what it is kind of thing. It's somewhere around that time. It's somewhere around that time kind of thing. But without further ado, now that I've gone ahead and told you guys my expectations for, well, this pack of cigarettes right here, it is now time for me to go ahead and, well, hop right into the packaging of, well, the Peace Original Filtered Cigarettes. After I go over the packaging, I'm going to go ahead and get the pack of cigarettes all opened up. Not like it isn't already. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get one of the cigarettes out, go ahead and let you guys know what the cigarettes look like, what they feel like, and what the quality of them is like. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get one of the Peace Original Filtered Cigarettes all lit up and go ahead and let you guys know what I actually think of these cigarettes right here. And spoiler alert, I love them. I absolutely love these cigarettes. But first off, as said, the packaging, which I think is a great look. From a distance, I think it's a pretty good look. The whole sort of like pastel yellow look kind of thing is something that is not, I would say, super common for cigarette packs. I mean, like, I've seen some Camels with sort of like a pastel yellow look to it kind of thing, I feel like. And I feel like I've seen some other cigarettes, but not really to the minimalist extent that Peace has done. And honestly, I think they're pretty recognizable from a distance just because of that, because what you're seeing from a distance is basically none of the details of the packaging. You're really not able to see the dove very well. You're really not able to see the Peace text very well at all. You're just seeing the yellow packaging, and even though you can't see really what's going on in the packaging at all, as long as you know what you're looking for, you know what you're looking at. However, if you don't know what you're looking for, then I definitely don't think you're going to really be able to spot these super easily on the shelf. I don't really think they're the most eye-catching cigarettes in the world, but I don't think that's really the goal. Lucky Strikes are extremely eye-catching. They have red right in the center. It looks like a target kind of thing, and this is designed by the same guy who designed Lucky Strikes. And I think, personally, that he used a little bit of a different design methodology for this pack of cigarettes versus Lucky Strikes. Lucky Strikes, he wanted to be very eye-catching on the shelf kind of thing. He wanted people to buy them right off the shelf, you know what I'm saying? I think that was his goal. These, on the other hand, He wanted the same thing, of course, but he also really, really, really wanted them to look a little bit classy kind of thing, because these are meant to be cigarettes that represent a peaceful future era. So you want them to look kind of good. You want them to kind of look classy. You don't want them to look overly marketed. You want them to look very nice, very peaceful. And I think he accomplished that goal extremely well. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I love this packaging. I think it's a fantastic look. And now I do think it is time for me to go ahead and start going over all of the details. So since this is a soft pack of cigarettes, we can of course see that there is indeed a blue label right here with some stuff on it. We can just see on that blue label right there, it just says in gold 100% Virginia leaf right there. So these are made out of 100% Virginia tobacco. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. And this is all on a very, very, very dark, almost navy, I definitely have to say, band that goes all the way up and across. I'll show you guys the top of the details of this once I reach the top of the packaging. But we can see that it's not just navy though. I don't know if you guys can see it on video, but there are indeed some slightly lighter blue stripes going vertically up, which is a pretty nice differentiation look, I will admit. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Below this strip, this strip, what is it called? Below the soft pack holder label thing, I don't know what it's actually called in all honesty. Below that, though, we have in gold a dove holding some leaves. I can't remember. They said on Wikipedia that it was a specific type of leaf. I can't remember what type of leaf it is. It's a dove. I know that. It's a dove. I know that. And I think the design for the dove is fantastic. It looks like it's diving down with the leaf in it, with the leaves in its mouth, trying to make peace happen at any cost. And I think that is a fantastic look. And I absolutely, absolutely, absolutely love seeing it. That's all in gold right there. It is metallic, but it's not the most metallic. Actually, no, it's pretty metallic. Looking at it in the sun now, it is pretty metallic, I will admit. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Yeah, no, that's pretty metallic. I like how that looks, that is for sure. Below the dove, though, we can see it is quite literally diving towards peace, because right under the dove, there is peace text right here. And that is in a very, very, very nice, almost navy blue, I definitely have to say. There's no drop shadow, there's no shading, there's nothing like that. It just says peace in a very nice, semi-fancy, but easy to read font, which I am a pretty big fan of. I definitely have to say, looks kind of like Times New Roman, but maybe a little bit fancier. Can't say for certain. The overall background for basically the entire packaging is just this very nice, sort of creamy, sort of pastel yellow, I definitely have to say. And I really, really, really like the look of the yellow they used for this packaging. I think it's a very unique yellow for a cigarette pack, and I think it contrasts very well with the navy that they use for the details right here. And I think it definitely goes along in line with the gold. Like, it doesn't contrast with the gold per se, but the gold kind of blends into it kind of thing. I think overall it's a great design for a cigarette pack. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. But honestly, that's pretty much all there is to the packaging. There really are not a lot of details to it. All there is left to the front of the packaging is this black line right here and a warning label underneath on a yellow background. I don't know what this warning label says, though. I will admit I did not Google Translate this warning label before the video, which I probably should have done, but I did not do that. If I had to guess, though, it probably says, do not give other people a secondhand smoke and do not smoke in places where you're not supposed to smoke, or something like that, which I'm definitely not doing right now. Nobody's around here, though. It's okay. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what it says, in all honesty. If I had to guess, I'm really not exactly sure, though, in all honesty. At the back of the packaging is quite literally exactly the same as the front. There are no differences. I do know somewhat what this warning label says right here, though. It says people under the age of 20 cannot buy cigarettes. And then it says below that, probably something similar to the front of the packaging, in all honesty. But the back of the packaging is quite literally exactly the same as the front. There are no differences, in all honesty. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to this side of the packaging right here, we can see a QR code at the top. I should probably check what that QR code means before I publish this video, because I don't know what that means, but I doubt it means anything, in all honesty. But I will be checking that after this video, but I did not check it before this video. Below the QR code, though, and we can see the side of the packaging is all in that very nice pastel mustard yellow as well. But we can see the QR code right there in black and white and everything like that. And then we can see in gold, there's just two little things on how to recycle and throw away this pack, because you have to throw the pack away in two separate trash cans, because the inside is foil and the outside is paper. It's a little bit complex, I will admit, but that's all in Oh, excuse me. That's all in gold. You know what I'm saying? Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Then moving on to the actual peace text right here. It's literally just a miniature version of the peace logo that is on the front and the back of the packaging. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Still in that very nice navy blue. And then we can just see in blue once again, it just says that there are 20 cigarettes in this package right here. We can see below that this cigarette is made by JT. And so this cigarette was initially introduced by the Japan Monopoly Corporation, which is Japan's old monopoly for tobacco, which then eventually turned into JT, JTI, depending on where you live. So these are still produced by JT, which is technically still the same company that produced them originally, which I think is pretty cool. These have not been bought off or nothing like that kind of thing, and it makes sense because this is essentially a national heritage cigarette for Japan. That's what I've heard, at least. Don't take what I say with a grain of salt. Either way, though, certainly still pretty cool, that is for sure. We can see some kanji right here and then a phone number right there, and that's basically just saying, hey, if you have any complaints, call this number right here, and then we could just see the barcode right there, and that very nice navy blue once again. Moving on to the other side of the packaging, though, we can see the tar and the nicotine for this cigarette right here. This cigarette has 21 milligrams of tar and 1.9 milligrams of nicotine. That's quite a bit of both of those. I ain't gonna lie, that is quite a bit of both of those. And then we can just see there is some text in black. Oh yeah, and this is all in black text, not navy. I think this is required text on every single pack of cigarettes sold in Japan, which is probably why it's all in black. But we can just see this kanji right here. I don't know precisely what it says, but I do know it says something along the lines of, depending on how you smoke, you might not get blah, blah, blah amount of nicotine or blah, blah, blah amount of tar kind of thing. If you only take one hit of a cigarette, you're only going to get that one hit of a cigarette worth of nicotine and tar. So it makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much all there is to that side of the packaging. Moving on to the bottom of the packaging, we can just see it just says peace right here, a miniature version of the logo we see on the front of the package. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. And then we can see the expiration date right here, 2023-09. So that would be what, September of 2023? Not bad, you know what I'm saying? Not bad. I don't know when this video is going to be going up, so this video might be going up in September, but I definitely am not smoking these in September, that is for sure. And this pack is definitely not going to be finished off in September. This pack is going to be finished off in less than a week because these are amazing. But certainly no complaints on my behalf. I love that they put the expiration date on the bottom of the cigarettes just so you don't get sold stale cigarettes, or if you do get sold stale cigarettes, well, you know you got sold stale cigarettes kind of thing. It's pretty cool stuff, if I do say so myself. And I love that they put the expiration date on the bottom of the pack of cigarettes. Even though cigarettes don't technically expire, they just dry out and get not as good. But I mean, like, hey, got to make sure you're always smoking quality, and that's why they got the expiration date right there. Moving on to the top of the packaging, though, we can see it's that blue label right there, silver on either side, or was on this side as well, but I already cut it open and got one of the cigarettes out and everything like that kind of thing. But it's just a typical soft pack of cigarettes, in all honesty. We can just see the dove right here diving down once again, and then under the dove, and this is all in gold, and then under the dove in gold, it just says original. Oh man, I'm getting really close to the camera. Under the dove, it just says original filter right there in a very, very, very nice, very fancy cursive-like font. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. That is a pretty good look, if I do say so myself. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to the packaging. The quality of the packaging overall is pretty decent. The gold is all metallic, which is a nice little detail I like. This is very much a minimalist pack of cigarettes, but that's not a bad thing at all. I like minimalist packs of cigarettes, and this is definitely one of the best looking minimalist packs of cigarettes I've ever seen. It tells you what you need to know. It tells you the brand. It tells you that this is the original filter. It actually tells you the variety of the cigarette. It tells you how much nicotine there is in it. It tells you how much tar there is in it. It tells you everything you need to know without being overly intrusive. And I really, really, really like that. And I really, really, really do appreciate that. And that's one of the things that I am sometimes disappointed about minimalist design, because they just don't tell you everything you want to know in a nice looking minimalist way. This pack does that, and I think it looks fantastic. Even with the warning label, it still looks great in my personal opinion. But you know, the quality of the pack is pretty much just like how you would expect a soft pack to be. It's just paper with foil on the inside. It's nothing special or anything like that, but there are nice, cool little details to the packaging, which makes it just a little bit cooler than not, that is for sure. But without further ado, I do think it is now time for me to go ahead and get one of the Peace original filter cigarettes all out, and go ahead and let you guys know what these cigarettes look like, what they feel like, and what the quality of them is like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get one of these out, and let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like. And I will admit, it's getting chilly out here. It is currently 4:28. The sun is gonna be going down in about, I wanna say 35, 40 minutes kind of thing. It's getting chilly out here, and my hands are very numb, that is for sure. I'm using my hand warmer right now. I've got my hand warmer hooked up to my phone, charging my phone right now. Oh no, I had it so perfectly placed. And now Oh no, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just gonna shove it right there and hopefully it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'm not gonna mess with how the phone is recording or anything like that by moving my battery, but thankfully my hand warmer can charge my phone too. Hopefully I don't use up all of the charge of my hand warmer, because I want to use my hand warmer on the way back to the train station to go back to where my Airbnb is, because it's getting chilly out here, that is for sure. But the overall look of the cigarette itself is a very nice, very classy look, just like the packaging. The white filter definitely adds into that, I will admit. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, and that's one thing I forgot to mention about the packaging, is that it's a very, very, very nice, very classy look, which I really, really, really do like. And the cigarette looks just as classy, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Just white filter, gold right here, with the dove just diving down for the tobacco and everything like that kind of thing. I love it. And then under the dove in gold, we can just see there are 2 gold lines. The top one is thicker than the bottom one. And then we can just see under those 2 gold lines in gold, it just says peace right here. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. This looks fantastic and I love, love, love seeing it. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It looks so good. It looks so good. I really, really, really do like how this cigarette looks. It's a very simple look. It's not the most unique look in the world by any means, but it's certainly not a bad look, and I think it looks a lot better than not, even without it being super unique. It's a fantastic look, and I love it. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Taking a look at the blend of the tobacco on the inside, the blend of the tobacco is extremely, extremely, extremely bright. Blight is not the right word. Bright is the right word. But the blend of the tobacco is extremely, extremely, extremely bright, and it's overall a very bright cigarette. Definitely brighter than most cigarettes that you would see in the States, that is for sure. Even sweeter cigarettes like this one tend to be a lot darker. They tend to use dark leaf tobacco, whereas this is definitely using bright leaf tobacco, which is very surprising, and that's something I did not expect when I first smoked it, that is for sure. Smelling the cigarette right off the bat, you get a super, super, super fantastic sweet tobacco smell, almost with like some vanilla in there as well kind of thing. It smells fantastic. There's no perforation on the filter at all. And overall, these cigarettes are shaping up to be absolutely fantastic. I say shaping up, but I already know that they are going to be absolutely fantastic. That is for sure. I think I am going to unplug my phone real quick. There we go. Unplug my phone, just so I can make sure I have some charge for the way back, because hopefully, because my phone was about to die before I started recording this video, so I plugged it in. Hopefully my phone does not die before the end of this video. That would certainly suck, that is for sure. But without further ado, I do think it is now time for me to go ahead and get this cigarette right here all lit up and go ahead and let you guys know what I officially think of the Peace Original Filter cigarettes. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get one of these all lit up. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, y'all know me, had to grab a little bit of screenshot real quick, and right off the bat, these are amazing. One of the best cigarettes I've ever had, honestly, if not the best. There's no chemical taste. The taste you get from this cigarette right here is very much a very nice, distinctly sweet. It's not mild. I think I said it was mild. I thought it was mild at the beginning of this video. No, it's not a mild sweet taste. It is a very up in your face sweet taste. It's super sweet. It's a super sweet, sugary tobacco taste, almost with like a hint of like vanilla in there. But then the undertone you get from it is like dark chocolate. So it's like vanilla dark chocolate tobacco. It's like I'm smoking a high quality cigar right now. It's so good. It's so good. I never expected to get a chocolatey taste from an actually relatively cheap cigarette as well. I think I paid like 460 or 500 yen for these, which means these are like $3.54 USD. It's really cheap. They're amazing. They're fucking fantastic. I am, though, not going to be ashing on the ground in today's video, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off my bottle of water right here, because this is what I'm going to be ashing in today's video, because I don't want to, I say that and I just accidentally ashed on the ground. Oh, I ashed on my pants by accident, and then I ashed on, and then, okay. Well, I was trying to not ash on the ground. I'm gonna try to not ash on the ground for the rest of the video. But man, yeah, these are so good. These are so good. As said, a very nice, up-in-your-face, chocolatey, vanilla, sort of tobacco taste. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. One of the greatest tastes from a cigarette I've ever had. The body is huge. It's not the biggest body in the world, but it's definitely bigger than not, that is for sure. And I definitely have to say, these are very smooth as well for what they are. 21 milligrams of tar and 1.9 milligrams of nicotine. For being this heavy of a cigarette, these are really, really, really damn smooth. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, super smooth. There is some harshness in the back of my throat right now, but they are certainly a lot more smooth than not, that is for sure. So genuinely no complaints on my behalf, you know what I'm saying? And I definitely have to say, like, roughness and smoothness wise, yeah, these are definitely a little bit rougher than not. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted. Some guy was walking by. I definitely have to say, roughness and smoothness wise, these are definitely very, I think I just said rougher than not. I got a little bit distracted there just for a moment. But I definitely have to say that, you know, these cigarettes, they're very smooth for what they are. There is some roughness in there, don't get me wrong, but they are very, very, very smooth for what they are. And the draw of these cigarettes, very easy draw. The airflow is very wide open, but they have some significance to them. They are not airy cigarettes by any means. There is no perforation. They are not airy cigarettes or anything like that kind of thing. There is a significance to them, even though the draw is very, very, very easy. The pull is very, very, very easy. Overall, these are amazing. These are amazing. What else did I want to talk about? I've talked about the taste. I've talked about the body now. I've talked about the roughness. I've talked about the airflow and the pull and the draw and everything like that kind of thing. I think next up what I want to talk about is how much tar is coming through the filter. There's quite a bit of tar coming through the filter, that is for sure. You can definitely tell this has 21 milligrams of tar, that is for sure, y'all. And I definitely have to say, other than that, I think the only other thing I want to talk about is how long these cigarettes burn from there not being really a super significant amount of tobacco in them. There is, I mean, like, of course, a decent amount of tobacco in these cigarettes, but not nearly as much as something like, let's say, an American Spirit or something like that kind of thing. And these don't burn as long as American Spirits, but they definitely burn a lot longer than a lot of cigarettes from the United States. A Marlboro Red would already be like at like this point now, I feel like. And don't get me wrong, I haven't been chiefing hits either, but this cigarette is a more slow burning cigarette than not, which is something I really, really, really do like. And man, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, the view I have right now is amazing. Let me just go ahead and show y'all. That's the view I have right now. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful view. Absolutely fantastic. I didn't set up the camera with that view at the beginning of this video because the sun was going right over there, and so the sun was in my face when I tried to sit on one of the benches over there. But either way, though, still a beautiful view from here anyway. I don't know how well y'all can see it through the trees right there, but it's a fantastic view, you know what I'm saying? A fantastic view for a fantastic cigarette. And I think right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and start giving you guys my final thoughts on the Peace Original Filter cigarettes, because I don't really have too much else to say, in all honesty. These are fantastic. These are one of the best cigarettes I've ever smoked, and I'm not going to say this for certain. I'm going to have to smoke through the rest of the pack first, but I think they might be my new favorite cigarette, and I'm not kidding about that. These genuinely are absolutely amazing. They are one of the best cigarettes I've ever smoked. They're super high quality for a great price, and really the only points I can take off of the cigarette is because I can't buy them in the United States. But I'm taking back, if I can find a way to get a carton back to the United States of just these, I'm taking a carton back. Let me tell y'all what, they are amazing. I think one other thing to mention about these cigarettes is that they might not be the greatest to smoke on a daily basis. I definitely do think just trying to ash it real quick. I do definitely think like the super distinct, really, really, really sweet taste they have to them, it's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I think it's one of those things that I might get sick of if I tried to smoke a pack on a daily basis kind of thing. So I think the taste could definitely get a little bit overwhelming over time. And that's something that might factor into the points, might factor into the ranking I give the cigarette, but in all honesty, it doesn't really matter all that much kind of thing. These are still a fantastic smoke, and I will smoke them anyway, that is for sure. But yeah, no, wow. These are genuinely amazing cigarettes. Genuinely amazing cigarettes. But, yeah, no, I'm loving these. I'm loving these. I think, though, the packaging is amazing. I love the packaging. I love the little cool metallic bird on there, the little cool metallic dove on there. I love the symbolism of these cigarettes. I love that it was designed by the same guy who designed the original Lucky Strike package. I love the look for this pack of cigarettes as a whole. The quality is the same as you would expect from a normal soft pack of cigarettes. It's really no surprise in all honesty, but I love how the pack of this cigarettes look. It's not the most distinct thing in the world from a distance, but I love how it looks nonetheless. It's a great bit of minimalist design in my personal opinion. It looks really, really, really classy. I love it. The cigarettes look really, really, really classy and really, really good as well. I'm a huge fan of how the cigarettes look, and I am a huge fan of how the cigarettes smoke. The taste is like a super sweet tobacco, chocolatey, vanilla taste. The body is big. They're not super rough. The airflow, the draw is all really good, and they taste fantastic, and they burn for a good amount of time even with the light breeze that I have blowing next to me right now. These are fantastic cigarettes. These are fantastic cigarettes. The filter is getting mushy as we get towards the end. No surprise there. But that's not too big a deal. Alrighty though, y'all. I'm all done with this cigarette, so I'm just going to go and throw it in my water bottle. And I am just going to go ahead and close up the top. And just like that. And I think the cigarette is all out. I think I had enough water still left in the bottom of the water bottle to put it out and everything like that kind of thing. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video though. I almost forgot. I cannot believe me. I almost forgot to give the Peace Original Filter a rating. I almost forgot. What is the rating I'm thinking for these cigarettes right here? 9.5 out of 10. It's easy. 9.5 out of 10. Holy shit. They are, I don't want to say for certain because I haven't smoked the rest of the pack yet, but they might just be my new favorite cigarette, and I'm not joking about that. They are amazing. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best cigarettes I've ever smoked, and it's such a shame that they're not sold in the United States. JT, if you're watching this, please, please, please sell them in the United States, or at least ship some over to me. I'll pay you, JT. I'll pay you. But JT doesn't offer that service. JT does not offer that service. But 9.5 out of 10, absolutely fantastic cigarettes. I love them. They are very much to my preference, and they are so damn good. There's no chemical taste at all, and they are amazing cigarettes. They are genuinely amazing cigarettes. No complaints on my behalf about the Peace Original Filter cigarettes, that is for sure. I have a pack of Peace 100s, and I have a pack of Peace Unfiltered as well that I'm looking forward to reviewing in the future. I picked those up at the Tobacco Museum after I was done recording a video there. At the Japan, I suppose I should clarify what tobacco museum I went to. I picked up a pack of the Peace Unfiltereds and the Peace hundreds in like a really big pack kind of thing. That's a really rare pack that is only sold at 3,500 locations in the nation of Japan at the Japanese Tobacco and Salt Museum in Tokyo, and I'm looking forward to reviewing those in the future, and I definitely expect them to be just as good as these cigarettes right here, although maybe not as much to my preference, as I don't really like 100s all that much, and I don't really like all unfilters all that much, but if they taste like these cigarettes right here, I'm definitely still going to like them more than not. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching though. As said, 9.5 out of 10 for the Peace Original Filter cigarettes. And until the next one, y'all, stay safe and peace and have a great one. And I think I forgot to completely do my outro. Man, I'm a little bit out of it right now. I ain't going to lie, y'all. But make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I got my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. Box, and my main channel. Nope, I got my second channel all in the description down below. This is my main channel. But until the next one, y'all, as said, like and subscribe. Until the next one, stay safe and peace and have a great one. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying? I definitely am a little bit buzzed right now. Stay safe and peace, y'all.